Alex had always believed that some love stories were written in stone. He and Emily met when they were 16 in the crowded hallway of their suburban high school. She was the quiet girl with the sharp wit who sat behind him in history class. He was the lanky kid who played guitar in a garage band and dreamed of becoming an architect. One shared laugh over a terrible history project about the French Revolution turned into late-night phone calls, then stolen kisses behind the bleachers, and eventually something deeper. They were inseparable. Through college, through his late night studying blueprints and her early shifts at the campus coffee shop, they held each other steady. At 25, they got married in a small ceremony by the lake where they had their first real date. No big spectacle, just family, close friends, and the kind of vows that felt eternal. "I choose you every day," Alex had whispered to her as they danced under string lights. "And I'll never stop choosing you," she replied, her eyes shining. For the next 5 years, life was good. Not perfect, there were arguments about money, about whose turn it was to do the dishes, about whether they should get a dog, but it was solid. They bought a modest house with a backyard in the same town they'd grown up in. Alex worked his way up at a respected architecture firm. Emily taught literature at the local middle school and wrote poetry in the evenings. They trusted each other completely. There were no secrets, no hidden phones, no lingering doubts. They were the couple friends envied. Until the gym. Emily had always been slim and active, but after turning 30, she started worrying about losing her edge, as she put it. Alex encouraged her. "Whatever makes you feel good," he said, kissing her forehead. So she joined Apex Fitness, the upscale gym downtown with the floor-to-ceiling windows and motivational slogans on the walls. That's where she met Marcus. Marcus was 34, a former semi-pro athlete turned personal trainer. Tall, broad-shouldered, with a deep voice and an easy smile that seemed to disarm everyone. He had that effortless charisma, the kind that made people feel like they were the only person in the room. Emily mentioned him casually at first. "Trainer's really good, pushes me hard," she said one night while they ate pasta on the couch. "Good," Alex replied, scrolling through design software on his laptop. "Just don't let him kill you," she laughed. Things stayed normal for a while, but slowly, almost imperceptibly, things began to shift. Emily started going to the gym 6 days a week. Her sessions stretched from 1 hour to 2. She bought new workout clothes, sleek, expensive leggings and cropped tops she never used to wear. She came home flushed, glowing, talking about how Marcus had her doing deadlifts and HIIT circuits that made her feel alive again. Alex noticed her checking her phone more often. She'd smile at messages and quickly lock the screen when he walked into the room. When he asked who she was texting, she'd say, "Just the girls from the gym," or "school stuff." One Friday evening, Alex came home early with flowers and takeout from their favorite Thai place. The house was empty. Emily didn't answer her phone for nearly 2 hours. When she finally walked through the door at 9:30 p.m., her hair was damp from a shower and she smelled faintly of men's cologne. "Sorry babe, Marcus had me do an extra session. Then we grabbed protein shakes with a couple of the regulars," she explained, kissing him quickly on the cheek. Alex felt the first real pang of unease, but he pushed it down. They'd been together 14 years, jealousy wasn't their thing. The cracks widened. Emily began staying out later. She started listening to new music, hip-hop and R&B, genres she used to tease Alex about. She bought lingerie that she never wore for him. Their sex life, once passionate and frequent, became sporadic and mechanical. When Alex tried to initiate, she'd say she was tired from training. One night, after she fell asleep, Alex picked up her phone. He'd never done that before. His hands shook as he entered her password, their anniversary date. There were no incriminating messages. Everything had been deleted. But in her recently deleted folder, he found it. A photo of Marcus shirtless in the gym mirror, captioned, "Missed this view already." His stomach dropped. The next few weeks were a masterclass in quiet torment. Alex began noticing everything. The way Emily's eyes lit up when she talked about her workouts, the new perfume, the fact that she suddenly needed me time on Saturday afternoons when Marcus didn't work weekends. He hired a private investigator. It felt dirty, desperate, but he had to know. The report came back after 10 days. Photos, timestamps, hotel receipts. Emily had been seeing Marcus for nearly 3 months. They met at the gym, then at his apartment, sometimes in his car in the parking lot after hours. There were messages, hundreds of them, full of lust and promises and the kind of filthy language Emily had never used with Alex. The final photo hit like a sledgehammer. Emily and Marcus live in a boutique hotel downtown, her laughing as he pulled her in for a kiss against his black SUV. Alex sat in his car in the investigator's parking lot and cried for the first time since his father's funeral. He didn't confront her immediately, he needed to understand why. That Saturday, he followed her. He watched from across the street as she entered Marcus's building. He sat there for 3 hours, staring at the window on the 4th floor where the lights eventually turned off. When Emily came home that night, Alex was waiting at the kitchen table with a folder of evidence. She froze when she saw the photos. "Alex, Don't," he said quietly. His voice was steady, but his eyes were broken. "Just tell me the truth, all of it." What followed was 3 hours of raw, ugly honesty. Emily admitted it started innocently. Marcus made her feel desired in a way she hadn't felt in years. At 30, she'd begun panicking about aging, about the routine of their marriage, about whether she'd ever feel young and wild again. Marcus represented excitement, danger, physicality. With him, she wasn't the responsible teacher, the devoted wife, the girl who had been with the same man since high school. She was someone new, someone reckless. "I love you, Alex," she sobbed. "I never stopped loving you. It was a mistake, a stupid, selfish mistake. I got addicted to how he made me feel." "Addicted," Alex repeated bitterly, "like a drug." She reached for his hand, he pulled away. "I ended it today," she whispered. "When I left his place, I told him it was over, I swear." But Alex had seen the way Marcus looked at her in those photos. Men like that didn't let go easily. The weeks that followed were hell. They tried couples counseling. Emily cried through every session, promising it would never happen again. She deleted all her social media. She quit the gym. She came home every night at exactly 5:30 p.m. and cooked dinner like the old days. But trust was shattered. Alex couldn't sleep. Every time she touched him, he saw Marcus's hands on her body. Every time she laughed, he wondered if she was thinking about someone else. He started drinking more. His work suffered. He lost a major project because he couldn't focus. Then came the twist no one saw coming. 3 months after the confrontation, Emily discovered she was pregnant. The timing made it devastatingly uncertain. She swore it was Alex's. They'd had sex 2 weeks before she ended things with Marcus. But the dates were close enough to create doubt. Alex insisted on a paternity test as soon as it was possible. The wait was excruciating. During those months, their marriage became a strange limbo of tenderness and resentment. Some nights they held each other and cried. Other nights, Alex slept in the guest room. Emily wrote him long letters every week, pouring out her guilt and love. When the results finally came back, Alex opened the envelope alone in his car in the hospital parking lot. He was the father. Relief flooded him, followed immediately by a deeper sadness. This child, their child, would be born into the wreckage of what they once had. Alex went home that night and told Emily the news. She collapsed into his arms, sobbing with joy and shame. But he didn't hold her the way he used to. "I love you," he said, stroking her hair, "and I'm going to love this baby with everything I have. But I don't know if I can ever look at you the same way again." Emily nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I know. I'll spend the rest of my life trying to earn your trust back, even if it takes forever." 6 months later, their daughter was born. Beautiful, healthy, with Alex's eyes and Emily's smile. They named her Hope. Some days, Alex looked at his wife and saw the girl he fell in love with at 16. Other days, he saw the woman who had betrayed him in the most intimate way possible. The wound never fully healed, but they built something new around it. Something quieter, more careful, forged in fire and regret. Marcus tried to reach out once, months after the baby was born. Emily blocked him immediately and showed Alex the message. That night, for the first time in almost a year, they made love like they meant it. Not with the wild passion of new lovers, but with the desperate, grateful intensity of two people who had almost lost everything and somehow found their way back through the ruins. Alex still didn't know if their marriage would survive the long haul. Some betrayals leave scars that ache in the cold, but every morning he chose to stay, and every morning Emily chose to prove she was worthy of that choice. Because sometimes the greatest love stories aren't the ones that stay perfect, they're the ones that survive the breaking and learn how to rebuild stronger.